Hi everyone, my name is Kelly from caseysmusicmethod.com, and if you have a child that is interested in learning the guitar, then this video will help you to consider some of the practical things before getting them started with their learning. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe by clicking the link and bell below. That way you won't miss out on any of my future videos. I have been teaching private music lessons for 18 years, and I have taught thousands of lessons to a wide variety of learners. One thing that I learned is that guitar is a very popular instrument, especially with children. In this video, I'm going to give you some things to consider before getting your child started with their learning. I've had many parents ask me, what's a good age for my child to begin learning to play music? Is 4 years old or 5 years old too early? I typically recommend starting at 5 years old at the earliest. I have found the best results with this age. Now there are always exceptions to the rule. It depends on the personality of the child. Let's face it, 5-year-olds can have a wild imagination, and they may be jumping from wanting to learn the guitar one week to wanting to become Spider-Man the next. I'm a stay-at-home dad of 2 young children, so I get it. However, I think you'll know that they are truly interested if they seem to be persistent about their interest. Although I can't help you to discern if your child is going to stick with their learning, I will talk about how to choose an instrument, setting up a practice space, and exploring learning options should you decide to move forward with their learning. Let's talk about instrument selection. When you're choosing a guitar for a 5-year-old or a young child, you have to consider 2 things: whether they will play acoustic or the electric guitar, and the size of the instrument. The acoustic guitar is a great option because you won't need any additional items such as a guitar amp or a guitar cable. However, the electric guitar is fine as well. Both instruments will be played the same way. I would see what your child is interested in and work from there. If they really want to play the electric guitar, then go for the electric. Some parents use the electric guitar as a reward system by having their child learn the acoustic guitar first. This may or may not work depending on the child, so I would only use this option if you think it will motivate your child to learn. The other thing to consider is the size of the guitar. A full-size guitar is going to be too large for a young child. I recommend a half-size or a 3/4 size guitar. There aren't many brands that offer 3/4 size and half-size guitars, so that will limit your options. But this is probably a good thing considering there are so many options for guitars. If possible, get a used instrument or borrow one from a friend, as this will be the best low-cost solution. Next, let's talk about the practice space. It's important to have a space that is welcoming and conducive to learning. A good practice space should be free of too many distractions.
Hi, little animal. Yeah.
Okay. The practice space will most likely be the child's room, although I know some families that use an extra space in their home for a practice or a jam area, such as the basement or an extra bedroom if you're fortunate enough to have one. Things that are helpful for a practice space are good lighting, a guitar stand, a music stand, a guitar tuner, and a good chair. The chair that is used for practicing is pretty important. In my space, I use a short wooden chair with a flat seat. I also have a footstep that I set in front of the chair so that students have a place to put their feet. The footstep is pretty important too because it prevents the guitar from sliding down the child's leg when they are sitting with it. One other thing about chairs, it is exactly 200% more difficult for a child to learn if you have them sitting in a spinny chair. Take the chore out of practice by having the guitar and practice material out and visible so that it encourages your young learner to play without having to get the guitar out of a case and the music out of a folder or a backpack each time they want to play. Make it easy for them. The next thing to consider is, how is your child going to learn? Are you going to teach them? Are you planning to find them a teacher? It's possible to teach your child to play as long as you know how to play. I recommend using books for learning or YouTube videos or a combination of the both. You're going to want to look into some method books for the guitar. Method books help children learn in a methodical way. Know this: all music books are not created equal. That is why I've written my own music learning books for children. I will provide a link in the description below if you're interested in using those. It may be that your child can't learn from you for whatever reason. If this is the case, you should consider hiring a private music teacher. This is a great option for getting focused one-on-one attention with a skilled teacher. If you decide to teach them yourself, you may want to consider a weekly or a daily learning time. In order to build practice into a habit, you need to establish a routine for their learning. For my students, I use a lesson notes spreadsheet so that we can keep track of their progress. You can also use classic methods for rewarding practice, such as sticker charts. One last thing that I recommend is that you as the parent or adult try to make their learning fun and engaging. There can be a shame factor with children, parents, and practice. Try not to use shame as a method for getting children to practice. Instead, make learning fun, which will make learning intrinsically motivating. Thank you for watching this short video about practical tips for teaching a 5-year-old the guitar. Please leave a comment below if you have any additional tips that you think are helpful. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I hope that your young one enjoys learning the guitar.